At this juncture, I'd request our guest of honor, CA Venkat K. Narayana, to present his acceptance speech. If I could request CA Venkat K. Narayana to address the gathering, please.
Good morning to all of you. Nice to see so many of you, in spite of today being last day for filing returns. Extended, huh? Oh, okay. 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 Honorable President of KSCA, Hegde Avaru, the Vice President Pramod Avaru, entire office bearers team, Dr. Balasubramaniam Avaru, the part of policy making team, and our DRV Avaru. Thank you for having me here. Indeed a privilege to interact with all of you. It's been a long time I had come to any event of CA Institute. It's like homecoming. It's indeed very happy moment to listen to the Chief Minister of Karnataka, our Bommai sir, and also part of policy making, Dr. Bala sir, about problem solving approach, that we are there. Your problems are not yours, your problems are also ours. We are there, we'll guide you through. I mean, I don't know when in the past we have had this kind of approach. And we are trying to create something new which was non-existent. We're being patient, we are finding our own way, balancing approach, and solving a lot of them. The thinking has been to evolve into bigger economy, build capacities, build the talent pool, and not just grow as a nation but guide the world. I think true to that Aparimita name that they have given, this is the era of limitless, I would repeat, infinite and limitless opportunities. Everywhere that you see there's an opportunity, there's growth, but are we growing to our potential? Are we growing in true spirit given the opportunity is the question that we need to ask. How do we build capacities? We build capacities when competent people come together and collaborate. I alone can do this much, but we together can do a lot more. Now, if we work in isolation, I don't think we would be doing justice to what we can in true sense do. In fact, Mr. Pramod was mentioning, it's good to see you at this stage as a CEO at a young age. So I told him I'll answer when I go there. So I haven't become CEO of a big company. We made our company big. We made our company big. When I joined, we were doing roughly around 100 crores of business, 2003. And we went through our own cycle, 2008 happened. And every time something happens which is, world is a negative, there's an opportunity. There's a big opportunity. And every time there is new legislation that comes, and there's an opportunity again. And when I joined as a assistant manager audit and a company secretary of this organization, my first 1 year went off in setting right secretarial records because of promoter and family. Then once you set right, you should not get attached to the chair and get somebody else, hand it over. Then moved on to audit and said, I think we should get Big Four. We made a change, got Deloitte's. And I was thinking what to do. Then they said, okay, KST has to go, VAT has to come. The moment KST has to go, VAT has to come, they had setting a level playing field for everybody. That 20 years of experience, 10 years of experience, maybe an experience which is invisible. But the newcomer also can read, understand and compete. That's a level playing field that they're setting up. Then GST came, then RERA came, we went through this process. So the point I was making was 100 crores in 2003, when 2008 crisis came, and every developer, every builder, and most of the organizations were sinking. We were trying to find the balance. That's when we had a big change in thought process. We said, look, every year is looking like as though we are born this year. Every year is looking fresh. We've been in the business for last 15, 20 years, but the balance sheet doesn't show. Then we change the approach saying that, look, we shouldn't sell everything that we are building. We should own part of what we are building. That's when these forum malls that you might have visited, Forum Kormangala, Forum Shantiniketan, Forum in Whitefield, Forum in Hyderabad, Mangalore, Mysore, that culture came in. And we started building a lot of office spaces. Today, over 6 lakh people work in the office spaces that we have built. And you'll be surprised to know that the malls, 10 malls that were built and operating, in 2019 pre-COVID level, 75 million people had visited, 7.5 crore people. That is the footfall that we had. So people are here to enjoy. We are here to build a social infrastructure. We changed the strategy then as to how can we become more resilient company. So we went into residential, office, shopping malls, hotels, and we said, the only way you can grow as a company is to have a trust of people and customer. I firmly believe that for doing any business, more than the capital, actually the true capital, I would say, is not money. It's a trust. It's a credibility that you carry. If they trust you, business will happen. Today, if we are saying we are coming up with the development there, sometimes we might not even put the compound, it gets sold. That's because they believe that we deliver. People think we've been making buildings for last 30 years, but we know we've been building trust for last 30 years. Trust of my landowners, trust of my customers, trust of our employees, the government, the entire ecosystem. Then came 2010. We had to handle the crisis. Somehow we have handled, we changed the approach, and we were to either go through raising money through private equity or go and tap public markets. And we have a promoters who are driven by values. If you are driven by the values, value creation automatically happens. If there are no values, value creation will happen, but faster than creation, destruction also will happen. It's a foundation that on which you operate matters. So we got listed we became a listed real estate company, one of the few. 2010, we were doing 1,000 crores of top line. And I'm very happy to share that 2011 rather, this year, we have done the highest sales in the country by any developer, crossing 10,000 crores. And we have sold one apartment every year. Every hour, one apartment being sold last year. That's the trust that we had enjoyed. And when we look from here to go to the next level, we think so much can be done. 10,000 seemed big 5 years ago, but seems very small. I think 25,000 crores is doable because the number of players have shrunk. Because there is so much of supply consolidation has happened. See, every business, there's always an opportunity to enter and make some quick money. And the real estate was one business where everybody entered. Look, here's an opportunity to make money, let me make money. But how many people entered the industry saying that, look, there is an opportunity to build an organization. Build an organization and I'll accordingly operate. Your mindset changes when you want to build an organization that is going to be long lasting. You want to take people along with you. Without people, you cannot do anything. How good an organization is always determined by how long people have stayed with the organization. And I must tell you, all the top management of our company has been with us for 25 years and plus. That's why I said, we didn't join a big company, we made our company big. And everybody has an opportunity to do that. And whenever I've seen a good talent, whether sitting that side, this side, representing, come for the meeting, a lot of times, there are no longer formal interviews now. We meet good people and we meet them separately and say, why don't you join us? Let's collaborate and let's travel together. Anyway, that could be some people who are asked right questions from the audit side. They said, oh, you're asking all good questions. Next year you join us and answer all these questions. So the talent, if it is put at the right place, wonders happen. There is always, I don't know how many of you are working, it is applicable even for people in practice. There is always a better job and better paying job. They are two different things. Better paying job may merely give you money. Better job gives you money and also a lot of other things. Growth, visibility, that credibility, that an organization has, and the prospects in job satisfaction, many more. Even for in practice, maybe 50–60% of the top 20 companies today that are there in the world did not exist 20 years ago. They're all born now. If you wanted to go and have a big company as your client, they were not big. If you had looked at their vision and say, oh, this is an organization that I think will grow and you have partnered, you are a big company auditor today. A big company is your client today. Your ability to look at a better client versus better paying client also matters. And a lot of times when the growth has happened for, I think, chartered accountants as a community, is when you align your vision with that of company's vision. It could be your client or you can be an employee. Okay, this is what my organization is set out to do or my client is set out to do. How I can contribute in they achieving that vision. How can I be a solution provider for their problems? In their journey, what all issues can come up and how can I participate and contribute? Then growth is together. Then you are growing with the organization. Then you have aligned everything. There is a peace, there is a satisfaction, and everything falls in place automatically. And Karnataka is a land of opportunities. The way I look at it is we are blessed, truly blessed to be in Bangalore, and truly blessed to be in these times, these fortunate times, because we are the only generation probably who would have seen maintaining accounts in the ledger, to computer, to laptop, to iPad. I don't know, change seemed to be the only constant thing. And what is limiting us to grow to the next level? I think Dr. Bala sir also was mentioning is only mindset. The limitations that we have kept in our mind will pull us down, then or maybe blindfold us, not looking at the opportunities. And so much that we can do. I don't want, we as an organization don't look at it. I want all of you also consider, when you say bottom line, it is not merely profit. Bottom line for accounting sense is a profit. But bottom line is people. Bottom line is planet. When I say bottom line is people, in earning that profit, are you impacting, touching lives of people? If yes, in what meaningful way are you doing? Are they happy? Are you enhancing the customer experience? Unless you touch the lives of humanity, no business will exist. It could be car, it could be clothes, it could be home, it could be phone, anything. There is no purpose for anything to be existing unless it is touching human. But how can we make that a happy experience so that we build loyalty, so that we build that credibility, all that matters. And how can we contribute? Planet. Most importantly, I want to talk about planet because there's so much that we talk about. As we're speaking, Sadhguru is making a rally, save the soil, save the planet. When people buy properties, no, they keep it very safe, neatly maintained, managed. Why? After they enjoy, they want to pass on to the next generation of theirs, their sons, their children. Same thing should apply to planet also, no? We are all visitors onto this planet. After you enjoy all the resources, it's your duty and responsibility to pass on to the next generation in a safe manner. Why only home? So, when we design our buildings, in fact, I don't know how many of some of you familiar faces have visited our corporate office. It had a lot of trees. And my management, my chairman, Mr. Irfan, was sitting and giving a brief. The first brief that the architect wanted, what kind of building do you want here? He said, we want that building which will not cut any of these trees. Make a building without cutting any of these trees or with less damage. So that's our contribution. We can also say, oh, take everything off, building is most important. It's the ecosystem that we build. And, money, if it goes to right hands, 100 crore, they will make into 1,000 crores by creating economic activity, employment, serving the needs of the people. But if the same 100 crores goes into wrong hands, he will make it very quickly into 1 crore. Correct? You as a chartered accountant, or we as a chartered accountants, can actually direct this money, where should it go? You can tell, you can guide, you can advise the companies that you're working in or maybe auditing, or maybe in, in some association saying that here is an opportunity, or in the true sense reflecting the financials. Most of the times the banking system gives money based on the statements that you certify. And if it's honest, and we are honest, that to the profession, And those companies we can help directly, indirectly grow. And some of the companies which are not doing well, you don't need one investigation to come and then to figure out that this money has not been put to use, it is intended for. You can always set it right before something big happens. After all, at the end of the day, it's all our money. We are all paying taxes at one side, and we should ensure that that is also deployed into something which is very meaningful. You know, part of this journey, in my initial years, there was a saying that you might have heard. People had put boards, some of the senior managements outside. Don't come to me with the problem, come to me with the solution. Some of them would have put even saying that don't come to me with one problem, come to me with two solutions. What I will do, I'll choose which is the better of them and will give you an advice and send. In my growing years, in fact, when I look back, a lot of my colleagues say, I had also put one board saying that come to me only if you have problems. Not that I had all solutions. But by then, I wanted to know all the problems that exist in a business. If different people are solving in a combined way, you wouldn't know. But if you got that exposure of solving problems, and if you are the go-to man in any organization, growth will automatically happen. Because if you are there solving, I didn't know many of the solutions for many of the problems, but by then that was a learning process. After that, every day you don't get new problems. There's a bunch of problems you have addressed, and after that it's going to be incrementally dealing with that. And most importantly, when we are dealing with the problems, this is the key, to set the process in an organization. Don't solve the problems. Just simply don't solve the problems. Solve the system that caused that problem. That is called systematic error addressal system, which I think aviation industry follows. There is so much of cross-functional this thing that happened. Address the system that caused the problem so that that problem is not repeated. You can solve the new problems. You can find the new issues always because it's ever-changing. We call it as a VUCA world, no? Volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. That's a new word that's been added to dictionary, you must be knowing. That's nothing new because we all have gone through while writing CA question paper also like that. Uncertain, ambiguous, complex. We are trying to figure out what it is. This is not a new thing for us. But while I come to end of what I want to convey is endless opportunities, limitless growth. I think next 5 years, 10 years is going to be the story of India. How can we, instead of merely being spectators, participate in that growth and play that game? Now when I say play that game, irrespective of whatever you do, there will always be people who will comment, complain, based on their needs, their moods. Don't bother. We are a listed company. We take some decision. My analyst will write a report saying that this decision of the company is so and so, it will impact negatively or it will impact positively. But if I look at what he will write and try to take a decision, I'll never make a decision. We have to take that decision and move up. It's like a player has to play. If he has to think, oh, okay, if I play this shot, how will Ravi Shastri comment? Hey, Ravi Shastri anyway will comment. You play the shot. It may go to 4, 6, or you may get out, doesn't matter. Take that risks. I think if not now, when else? When the problem comes to you, one thing that should come to your mind is, if not me, who else will solve? If not now, when else? I think these two will bring in sense of urgency in solving the problems. Opportunities are limitless. Take risks. Nothing is going to happen. Either you will win or you will learn. Both are good. The next step, you can take it better. We as a chartered accountants, we are more meticulous. We are fantastic at working, compliances and all that. But beyond the compliances, the skill set that we have, people management is very important. Collaborate with the right people. Don't let go people. It's people who make things happen. It's not individuals, one person at a time. Together, you can always build. Be people-centric. Unfortunately, in our curriculum, I don't think much of people management skills. I don't know. Now, whether they change organization management, there used to be one subject, but it's so vast, I think that need to be handled. Because when you grow, apart from doing work for yourself, by yourself. You need to manage a lot of people. That's a different skill set altogether. In fact, let me put it this way. The only skill set that you need to have to become a great leader is the competence of managing competent people. That's all. The competence of managing competent people. You see, a great teacher may not be owning a school, because the school owner knows how to manage teachers. You see, great doctor may not be owning a hospital, because the hospital owner knows how to manage all competent doctors. You see, most of the developers in the country are not civil engineers. They're builders. They know how to manage all these civil engineers. The competence that you need is ability to manage the competent people. EQ is a lot more important. And most of us, we keep connecting with the people electronically. Be connected with people emotionally, not just electronically. It takes you to places. And go that extra mile. Go that extra mile. See, when I was handling taxation, reluctantly I used to go and meet our banking. Reluctantly I used to go and meet bank officers. You have to go. They'll sometimes make us wait and then see what time was. They don't come to the point. Half an hour of something else happened. 1 minute is a discussion. You will be restless as an youngster. Now, cut fast forward. We think we grow in life, but they also grow, no? When you are growing, they are also growing. You don't go and make a friendship with SBI chairman just like that. What if SBI chairman was assistant manager and you knew her? When she becomes you can make a lot of things happen over a phone call. Build networks, build relationships, not just transaction oriented. Be relationship oriented. Stick to the organizations. If their vision, your vision are in sync, and therefore the growth automatically happens. When there is a synergy, 1 + 1 will not become 2, it will become 11. That missing is the synergy, that's what we call it as. With this, I come to end of what I wanted to convey. Take that big step. I think next 5 years is going to be remarkable for India and the companies and the profession as a whole. There's so much that is going to happen, and the bright future awaits there. And we have policymakers who are willing to listen to us and make those amends. I think world is looking at, I think PM also tweeted day for yesterday, world is looking at India for guidance, and companies will make it happen. The companies are looking at you and us for the guidance. Let's take pride in being chartered accountant. And I tell a lot of people saying that if a problem chartered accountant cannot solve, nobody else can solve. With that, I come to end of what I wanted to convey. Thank you for having me. It's truly my pleasure to come back to the institute and share my thoughts. Thank you.